Spy Psychology, Team Fortress 2, How to Cloak by Jonto. Chat, you will be ecstatic to know that I found the snack, that the sandwich hat. I found it for 69 cents after the video. Pretty hype. I love this bit. Oh no! He took the medic pack. Sneak.
Spy can be a bit of an everywhere man.
Yes.
If a spy knows how to use his cloak effectively, he can just sort of show up from wherever, kill someone.
Was that a Ren and Stimpy meme with the saw in the back? Was that what I was seeing?
And then just vanish in front of you to the point you swear he's somehow using ender pearls. Cloak is an invisibility mechanic, sure, but there are a whole lot of factors you have to take into account when using it, depending on what you're using it for. The cloak has two main uses: getting behind the enemy and escaping them.
Right, which
so
makes
in order
sense.
to utilize it for those purposes, let's go over how it works.
I love it! This intro goes hard.
Now, you have three options for the cloak, but let's just ignore these two and stick with stock, since it's the base stats.
Yeah.
The Ender's Watch lasts 10 seconds at a full charge, but you can refill it mid-cloak by picking up ammo. But bumping into or taking damage from an enemy player will make you visible for a brief second.
Right.
So, ideally, you'll want to avoid that.
Sure.
Forward!
Yeah. Debuffs with a visual effect like Afterburn, Bleed, Mad Milk, or Girardi remain visible while you're cloaked. So, don't bother cloaking while you're under their effects, right?
Makes sense.
Wrong!
Oh, wait, what?
While you can be seen, being cloaked halves the duration of debuffs, thus getting rid of them quicker. Alongside this, you have a 20% damage resistance while cloaked, which...
So, what I'm hearing is you can use the cloak defensively at this point. So, you would be able to get Girarded, right? Or get, like, milked. Cloak. And then you suddenly have a 20% resist to the effects? Is what I'm understanding? So, if you're getting pyroed, right? No, because doesn't getting hit... Wait, wouldn't getting hit... Because flame does tick damage, right? So wouldn't getting pyroed, getting set on fire, wouldn't that just break the cloak immediately? No, I'm thinking of disguise. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of disguise. Yeah, so cloak could be used defensively to get out of there. That's really interesting.
in some cases, might be just enough to keep you alive. Cloaking and decloaking takes a brief second, and you have to be fully uncloaked before you can attack.
Right.
Also, speaking of uncloaking, it makes a noise.
Yeah, it does.
We'll get back to this. Though while cloaked, the spy will not say any voice lines automatically, like reacting to the cart stopping or taking damage. However, voice commands retain their full functionality, allowing you to send the local intel NG into a psychiatric ward. This is the first use of Cloak, and the reason the spy can appear from pretty much wherever. The first thing you should do is avoid letting the enemy even know you're coming.
Right.
Figure out
Reasonably.
where the main fights are happening, and start cloaking right before rounding the corner to where it is, so that nobody even sees you cloak.
Right.
Typically, you want to take corners wide to avoid bumping into players that might be passing through.
Wouldn't you also want to take corners a little wide as well to ignore demo men sticky traps if you're worried about those? I know that's a big one on, I think it was Lazy Purple, talking about how, what do you call it? Talking about something, not sure why people take corners wide, and sticky bombs was one of the big ones that was mentioned in chat.
Which is easy to do in open areas. You'll want to give the enemy as little information to work with to know when and where you're coming from.
Right.
Since it's a lot harder to stop a threat you don't even know is coming. But it's not impossible.
Yep.
I've said this in other videos, but you really need to consider crossfire, especially from classes that like to spam explosives down choke points. Avoiding it comes down to your movement and map knowledge. Map knowledge is very helpful for finding paths that are less likely to be congested with players, or just knowing where players are more or less likely to walk.
And this is honestly my big issue with any class I play right now is I don't have the required map knowledge, right? Like, sure, once I get like 100 hours in, I'll have some pretty decent map knowledge. I'll have played enough of them to kind of know what's going on. I mean, I can tell you in 2 Fort right now, especially because for some reason I'm mostly on blue in 2 Fort. I always forget how to get the second entrance to the intel room. I always forget it. Usually I'm used to the one that's next to the wooden stairs, but there's the other side. I don't know how to describe it. Like the right side of blue on 2 Fort. There's a little hallway that leads down into. I always forget it exists. But that's just like, I've played TF2 for a cumulative of like 100 hours. Like, no, not even that. Probably like 50 hours total. That includes Orange Box on the 360. So I just don't have the experience and required map knowledge yet for a lot of things. Like that just comes with time. Eventually you will understand the maps.
Your movement comes into play with avoiding the fire of players that you do encounter.
Right.
Map knowledge is also very helpful when it comes to knowing the locations of ammo packs. As mentioned before, if you're using stock invis or any of the reskins, you can refill mid-cloak by picking up ammo packs. If you know the locations of ammo packs on a map, and how likely they are to have been used up at a given time, it can allow you to plan out where you go to get behind the enemy lines while extending your cloak with ammo packs. Just know that people can see health and ammo packs disappearing.
So at this point, though, while they can see it, this could also be used tactically as well, right? Like if you're, say, pushing the enemy team back, say you're on like red, right? And then you're on blue, you as a blue spy can go into the back line and further back, right? And you can, and say red is actually like pushing blue, like they're pushing payload. You have a cart heavy, and you're actually pushing blue back. Sorry, you're pushing red back. Like you're pushing the enemy team back, and you can actually use this defensively. Well, I guess proactively is the better word here, to try to deny the enemy team ammunition and healing items. I think that's really tech. Just because you're in the back line.
Let's have a practical example. On Badwater, as blue team, the tunnel where the cart goes isn't usually subject to crossfire until someone pushes the cart into it.
Yeah.
When coming out of the tunnel, there's also an ammo pack to the left to refill your cloak that by this point in the round is unlikely to be used. Engineers like to set up here, and snipers like to sit here. Alternatively, if the path below is being spammed or you want to get behind faster, you can take the path to the left, snagging the big ammo pack here, or decloaking amongst these rocks.
Okay.
Or you could go through the area to the right and use the open area to try and avoid crossfire. Those were the options you had on just the first point of Badwater alone. Imagine that thought process for the entire map. That'd make a good series, actually.
I feel like 2 Fort gets like just becomes a Gordian knot of pathways.
Spot checking is something to be aware of, especially if you've already been causing problems for the enemy team. Pyros are particularly good at catching you out for obvious reasons.
Oh, I love being a pyro main.
But again, the best thing you can do against spy checking players is using open areas, as it allows you to stay out of a pyro's effective range, dodge projectiles, and have bullets spread from classes like the Heavy, making it harder to track you. For example, the intel room of Capture the Flag Well is amazing for this. As this room is so big, it's incredibly difficult to find a good spy in here if he gets enough distance from you. Patience can also help a lot. Just waiting for a good opening can be what you need to get past. Though of course once you decloak, you don't want to decloak behind someone to discover they know what the decloak sound is.
Especially as we've talked about when like, it's not just the Heavy, but because of how mouse sensitivity works, like, you can't actually see my mouse, but like, let's say this tab, right? This tab at the top that I'm highlighting. Because if you're on controller, right, you have to like slowly mmovthink the tabs, right? But if you're on like mouse and keyboard, right, or your sensitivity's high enough, you can go from here to like here instantly. I think it just that no one expects just the 180. I don't expect it.
Unless you think they're really new or seem to have their audio turned off.
Dude, he's deaf to the Razorback.
Avoid decloaking right behind players in quiet places, though there are a few tricks to mask the sound. 1. Using walls or being in another room typically makes the sound harder to hear.
Okay.
Without going too much into the specifics, a good thing to do is break line of sight before decloaking.
Sure.
2. Using other sounds to mask the sound of the decloak. is when there's not much other sound, it's pretty easy to hear one isolated sound.
Right.
But when there's lots of other noise going on, it becomes really difficult to make out individual noises that come from
Which makes sense.
your ears and go into your eardrums. So yeah, anyway.
Decloaking in a hectic backline, right? Like say they have like a couple snipers, you're doing a 12v12, 2 to 3 snipers, and they're firing line, especially if they're off of each other, right? So instead of like 3 bangs, it's like bang bang bang, first one goes bang bang bang, and like how they're staggered. Like you could reasonably decloak in a backline with that.
Plan things out, don't get bumped or hit by crossfire, and don't be silly with your decloaks. But now for the other use of Cloak. Get in with Cloak, get out with Cloak. Unless you're using a certain knife.
Oh.
Backstabs are pretty loud, and when people locate a spy, they have this near irresistible urge to hunt them down.
Right.
Knowing this, we should learn how to get out of those situations. First thing to note is, like I said before, backstabs are loud. Unless you're confident.
I love the pyro in this series. Just even Manco Spy earlier was just like, God, I hate pyros. Oh, I vibe with this series so much. I am that pyro.
The enemy is really distracted. It's good to get into the habit of cloaking immediately after kill, so that by the time anyone reacts, you're already in the process of getting away.
I actually don't know how to do voice lines. I haven't figured out what button it is yet. But to be fair, I didn't even know you could like fake reload and fake weapon swap, right? I didn't even know you could do that until literally this video.
Another big tip is to pick your fights.
Yes.
As good as you can get at evasion, you can't just play like an overly aggressive scout and get away with it.
I'm gonna go right in and attempt to backstab the entire enemy team, and I'm gonna succeed. I'm gonna get out, and it's gonna make an epic frag.
That is
No.
disgusting.
Don't put yourself in those situations. The spy is very easy to kill if caught out, so just be careful.
Yeah.
Of course, when you cloak, people can see the direction you went when you were cloaking,
Right.
which may seem like a weakness, but in reality, it allows you to create illusion.
Right, because at that point you're expected to continue at 12 o'clock, but you doubled back to go 6 o'clock from where you started. That's actually really clever.
Cloak illusions are when you fake doing one thing while you're cloaking, but instead
An ironic Zelda soundtrack, let's go.
switch action the moment your cloak is complete.
Ha!
The most basic example of this is running one way when your cloak starts, and immediately changing directions once you're fully cloaked. Using this trick alone will drastically increase your survivability, but note that if for any reason you become temporarily visible, i.e. damage or debuffs, you'll want to change direction again. If you're taking sustained hit scan damage, like from a sentry, minigun, or SMG, break line of sight as quickly as possible so you can't be tracked.
Right.
You can get creative and pretty erratic with your cloak. You can even fake jumping off a ledge if you get good enough at movement.
That's actually kind of wild, yeah, because my brain is like, oh, he just jumped off. But clearly he didn't, right? That's wild. I don't know, I guess you have to play this just like you're playing the 4th Hokage, right? Just the Minato Namikaze from Naruto, right? Flying Raijin status. You're here, and then you're there, and then you're not there, right? Because you're uncloaking and you're uncloaking, recloaking, right? Like, dude, you could get some wild movement tech here.
Now, of course, if someone just fires a few stray shots at you, sure, that's not too bad. But when you get hunted, this is when your evasion skills are truly put to the test. So, let's just take this example. Here, there is a pyro that is chasing us and intends to bring us...
Sure.
So, how do we escape him? Well, first, let's think about what he's thinking. Let's think about what we would do if we were the pyro.
Okay.
Alright, we got him at the flare, he's gonna go up there, took the ammo.
Yeah, makes sense.
We went in there, he's gonna go for the big health and ammo. Go down here to restore and get, yep, there he is. I'm just gonna air blast him off the cliff like that, and then I'm just gonna taunt. He's really funny.
But of course, we aren't the pyro here. We're the spy. And we've just predicted his prediction.
Right.
So...
Alright, we got him at the flare, he's gonna go up there, took the ammo, just gonna, we went in there, he's gonna go for the big
Yep.
health and ammo.
Yep.
Go down here to restore and get...
Uh-huh.
Think about what they would think. Predict what they would predict. Use that knowledge to go against the prediction. People
Big
catch on
brain.
to the fact spies like to run for the nearest health and ammo, so mess with that expectation.
Dude, I really feel like if Spy was in any other game, like if this was in like, I don't know enough about, not Marathon, what is it? Apex, right? Like if something like this was in Apex or something like this was actually in Overwatch and it wasn't just Sombra, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like Spy is really like, because is it useful in every situation? No. Like, I'm sure there are games that, especially if everyone knows what they're doing, like a Spy is actually just going to be a pretty poor pick, right? That's all subjective. And I'm looking at this and I'm just sitting here like, dude, if this was in any other game, how many people would actually be complaining about Spy being broken, right? Like, it's kind of wild that Team Fortress 2 effectively enables Spy being able to exist with as powerful a kit as he has, even post nerfs, when other games would not dare ever encroach on anything that borders Spy. Like, sure, Sombra exists in Overwatch, but like it's not the same, is it? It's really not.
Also, people like to check corners a lot, and that's fair, they're good hiding spots. But once people check a corner, they tend to consider it to be clear. So, jump into the corner after it gets checked. Most people do not think to check twice. Try and watch what they're doing when hunting for you, and try to find ways to back out of an area they think you're still in. If you're able to trick them into spy checking an area you've already left, you buy yourself a lot of time and waste a lot of fears. But do remember that running away isn't your only option.
Well, here's the thing as well. It can also help your team as well. If they're having to spy check, say they have, it's a 12v12, right? And say that they have to have 2 to 3 people trying to spy check because you're being that annoying, right? And they spy check an area, you go to the area that they've already spy checked, and now they're having to check all the other rooms in the building. You are now wasting seconds of their time when they could be team fighting your team.
For you should know that Spy is a gun.
I'll believe you.
Really good range and is especially effective on pyros chasing you from a distance. Speaking of classes,
is that why they reload? I know. So I actually react to most of these like in a single go. Like we kind of hang out on stream and just kind of go through these. It's kind of why like the weapon stereotype series, there are questions that people I feel like they have to answer multiple times. That's because it's done in such a short succession. I feel like that's why people would reload habitually though, because that first shot is 100% accurate, right? So yeah, I feel like compulsive reloading, something I do in every single game. Like look at any FPS game I play, Modern Warfare 2, really any game Destiny 2, man, I reload consistently. It's not even funny. Warframe, dude, I reload Torrid constantly.
You're faster than. It's also worth noting that Spy is the second fastest class in the game alongside Medic, only beaten by the Scout. So as long as you aren't running backwards, you can outrun most other classes. Even if you're disguised as a class slower than you, you retain your full speed even while partially cloaked regardless of disguise. But you don't take knockback from anything other than Air Blast while disguised.
Air Blast is important.
Why is this important? Damage surfing! Soldier and Demo can use explosives at their feet to launch themselves. So, why can't you? Timing a crouch jump with a rocket landing at your feet is a really good way to put some serious distance between you and your pursuer. The Cloak and Dagger is
I've heard a lot of good things about the Cloak and Dagger. I haven't used it yet.
really good for the more slow and methodical spy playstyle.
I honestly might actually like swap to this at some point. Like I probably will.
It drains based on how much you move while cloaked, but standing still allows you to refill it while cloaked. However, you can't pick up ammo to refill it while cloaked.
Which makes sense.
The fact you can stay cloaked indefinitely makes this watch really good for waiting in an area for a moment to strike. But the lack of mobility while cloaked can be a hindrance.
I feel like Cloak and Dagger is a passive methodical spy, where regular Cloak at high tier would be a more aggressive spy.
When getting behind the enemy, you'll often find yourself having to stop to refill Cloak. When it comes to making escapes with the Cloak and Dagger, you can rely less on movement and more so on individual hiding spots.
Right.
Since you can sit in one spot, you can often trick players into thinking you've run further away than you really have.
That's so hilarious, though. I feel like I could do shenanigans with the cloak and dagger.
only moving when required.
What? Wait, what?
Away than you really have.
Was that intentional?
Only moving when required.
What?
Worry slightly less about cloak management using our
Oh, okay. It's an nope, that's actually clever. That got me. That's an advertiser bit. Underneath me it says piss off.
helpful little utility gun, the L'Étranger. Simply equipping this gun gives you a massive 40% extra cloak duration, with the added benefit of restoring 50% cloak on hit. Warning, side effects may include 20% damage penalty. Whether you're a newer spy that needs a bit of extra cloak, an experienced spy wanting to get more mileage out of it, wanting to reduce the low mobility of the cloak and dagger, nullify the reduced cloak of your eternal reward, or regain cloak faster for your dead ringer, this gun has a bit of fun for everyone.
I used to have to worry about running out of cloak, but with the L'Étranger, I can worry a bit less about my cloak, though I wish I could be using the diamond now.
Why do I feel like I need Saru a VTuber? I need to see if she has a VOD of her just playing spy. I feel like this guy, what is it? It's from the Badger video. It's baked into her lore, right? That the spy is like her family member or something. I need Saru playing the spy. I just need an actual MLG Saru spy stream.
So try it today. Anyone can benefit from the utility of this gun, but nobody can pronounce it.
Yeah, makes sense. I love it. It was perfect.
Detection.
Bold. I think it worked though. I liked the bit.
I have to admit my bias here. I do not like this weapon. Basically, you lose the ability to cloak on demand, but it can be used to fake your death by taking damage when you pull it out. The only issue, it's often really easy to tell when this happens. So more often, people will just use this as an escape tool, or to force their way past the enemy. The issue, you cannot restore cloak from ammo, period. And this thing requires a full charge to even use, and the decloak sound is really loud. If you get caught in your decloak position and people won't get close enough to be trick stabbed, you're basically screwed. And since the cloak is instant, you can't even create illusions.
Gotcha, Crouton!
I mean, to be fair though, like it used to be a lot stronger, right? Like it used to be really strong until they nerfed it. Like it used to pick up ammo, right? Like this is like, it's still good with nerfs.
No.
Because you require damage to even cloak, and most players can detect the fake death, they most often know when you're coming, and are more prepared for you when you show up, unlike with the other two watchers. It is worth noting that if you disguise as a teammate, you can fake their death instead of yours, which can help prevent people from noticing you, but that loud decloak isn't helping. The cloak is a tool for getting in and getting out. Use your map knowledge, movement skill, and mind games to accomplish both. It'll take practice, but when you know what you're doing, you'll vanish as quickly as you appear from nowhere.
Flawless.
Like a wolf among the lambs.
I think that the comps are great. I think I'm unused to it coming off of Lazy Purple and Soundsmith though. Like it's kind of jarring. Not in a bad way. It's just one of those that I just like I think about, I gotta scratch my head. It's just different. Not that it's bad. You know, Spy has a gun. I don't believe you. People keep saying Spy has a gun, but I don't believe it. I don't know. Because you can just unequip items, right?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, so I actually did not that.
Because you just unequip items, right? So clearly the best play here is just to unequip your revolver. Just have nothing in that slot. Gonna be great. Spy has a gun. Exactly. That's what I keep saying. Oh my god, this was awesome to watch. This was really fun to watch. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys did as well. This was really cool to watch. I've been enjoying it, and I've been also bolstering not only my spy knowledge, but just knowledge of the game in general. It makes me really I'm itching to try it out. I'm itching to try out more Spy on stream. I need to see about really trying not to get my Australian ambassador yet. I'm really trying, but I'm debating on it. Thank you everyone for watching. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you did as well. Definitely go check out Jonto, especially if you have not, because this series is honestly amazing, and I think it's really good for newer players like me and older players as well who have tips and tricks they want to share. And I will see you all in the next one.